Hey everybody, welcome to the Creativity Cave. I'm Dina Rico and I'm super excited to stamp with you today because I have a really fun project to share with you using this month's Paper Pumpkin kit. Now Paper Pumpkin is a subscription service from Stampin' Up! And it comes in this adorable box each month, and inside the box is everything that you need to make a project. So this month we had everything we need to make 8 cards. These are what the cards looked like. They're just a teeny bit different. And then this month came with a super cute decorative gift box. Look at how adorable this is that your cards would fit in. Now I got about 5 of my cards in here, and then the rest I can use for something else so that they're not totally squished in here. And then we even had stuff in our box to make this cute tag and this ribbon to put it all together. So isn't this fun? And there's even coordinating envelopes, which I think is super cool. Oops. So here are envelopes that match. Aren't they fun? So let me show you a little bit more about this kit. If you've never seen Paper Pumpkin, or if you are kind of curious about how it comes, it's pretty awesome. Everything is in there each month, and it's $20 delivered to you. And of course now I'm having trouble getting my ribbon back on here. We'll get it because it's so pretty. I love it. There we go. So it makes such a nice gift. All right. So this month came with, I've made all the projects from our kit, but let me show you what's left over. And here's what I love about Paper Pumpkin is there's always tons of leftover pieces. So you get instructions that share with you how to make each project, and there's even tips on the back. Here's a full extra sheet of these little leaf stickers. There's also, I still have even more. I have a few more on another sheet. We got 2 sheets of these. There was, let's see. There were these ovals. Well, okay, so, sorry, I thought I had all my pieces out. So there's a bunch of ovals that I have left over. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then some plain ones, 7, 8, 9, 10 leftover ovals. All of these flower die cuts are left, and then there's a bunch of leaf stickers left. These are just the leftovers. I have several tags. I think I have, let's see, how many tags do I have? 3, 4 tags left over, and I actually made another card with one of these tags. Some more of these flower die cuts. This is, again, just the leftover stuff from this month's kit. Now there's also a stamp set that comes each month. So this is what the stamp set looks like. Mine are currently mounted on blocks. That's why I'm showing you. This is just the label index sheet for it. So there's a cute little stamp set. We're going to use that on a project in just a minute. So every month you get all of this awesomeness delivered to your door. Now when you subscribe with me, I provide you between 15 and 20 additional projects each month which are projects you can create using either the kit itself or the leftover pieces in the kit, depending on what you want to do. So it gives you lots of inspiration. And what I love about it is every so often there's a kit that I'm not like crazy over the top in love with, but when I see the additional projects, I'm usually like crazy in love with it by the end. So that's kind of really nice. And it helps when you're not feeling the creativity to have like a little bit of inspiration. So I want to show you something I made with pieces that are completely extra. So, and this has kind of a fun little technique too. So one of the things that I have in my kit were these. This is the sheet of die cut flowers. You can see they're pool party colored. Okay, so I took some Post-it notes, covered up all of the masks, and then I've got some watercolor paper here that I cut down, and I'm going to place this mask over my watercolor paper, and then I'm actually going to sponge some ink right on the top of them. Okay, so I'm just going to take my sponge in some Berry Burst ink and just kind of rub. Now, because I'm trying to preserve my little mask here, I'm kind of going from the out to the center because I don't want to flip up these little points on my flower. Okay, so I'm just kind of going outwards from the outside in of my flower. I hope that makes sense. Now, when I first started doing this, I actually, I did this yellow one using the sponge brayer, and it worked wonderfully. But then I didn't want to change color from my yellow sponge brayer. So then I started with the sponge on my Peekaboo Peach one, and then here I'm doing Berry Burst. And again, I didn't want to contaminate this. And if you're done laughing at me, I'll tell you I have a couple more sponge brayers coming, and they're not here yet. So I wanted to leave this one dedicated to Daffodil Delight. Isn't that funny? Because, like, here's my roller for Wisteria Wonder. Just saying. Okay, so back to our card. Now I'm going to remove my mask, and there it is. Isn't that fun? But wait, you could stamp it just like this if you wanted. You can see I stamped the image over the top. But what I'm going to do is I want it to be a little fancier than that. So I'm going to do just a teeny bit of watercoloring. Now, watercoloring is one of my favorite techniques. And I think the reason I love it so much is it just, you can really get a fancy look without much effort. Now, the funny thing is that I'm sitting here looking for my aqua painter. And I had it in my hand literally right before I started this video, and I can't find it. Okay, so my aqua painter is awesome. It just has water in the tube. And then I'm going to take the brush end, and I'm going to paint. And part of my hands, I am covered in ink because I've had kind of a lot of fun playing with this. Okay, so I'm just going to take, and I'm going to go right up to the lines, but not over them. And when I do that, I get this watery look, and it just looks a little bit more artistic, I guess. And there's nothing wrong. You can leave the sponging as is, but I thought I would take it up one more notch and just do this coloring. And literally all I'm doing is dragging water over the top of what I've sponged. That's literally it. Do you see that? And can you see how it gives it kind of a fancy look? I love the look of that. Now, what I can do is, oops, I just dropped an ink pad off my table. I like to clean it off on, this is just my Stampin' scrub. I just clean it off here. You can also use a rag, an old rag, like I use a burp rag a lot too. Okay, so I've done that. I'm gonna let this dry. Oh, but the other thing I want to do, and it is a good idea to let your ink dry completely before starting this. Just saying. I'm going to stamp this is one of the images from the stamp set, this little leafy thing here. And I'm just inking up part of it. I don't want this whole stem on there. I just want just like this part of it. I'm leaving the stem blank, as in I'm not inking it up. And then I'll do the other side like so, and there I've got some little greenery added to my flower, because, you know, it looks better if it's not just all by itself. I think that's my personal opinion. Okay, now that I've done that, I actually have, oh, and then I'm going to add the sentiment. Now, in my stamp set that came with this kit this month, there are a bunch of sayings. So thinking of you, I've used over here. I'm going to actually use You Did It, because I like that. And this could be for a lot of different things. My daughter's running a cross-country race, so maybe I'll give this to her afterwards, because she has been having back spasms all week, the poor thing, and she wasn't sure if she was going to run today. I'll be honest, I was kind of hoping she wasn't, because her meet is an hour and a half away, which I will drive because I love her and I want to support her. But, oh. Okay. So there, I stamped You Did It. Now, I just happen to have one that's dry that I've already done. The reason I want it to be completely dry is because I'm going to stamp over the top. And if it's not completely dry, then there's going to be ink. The image will feather out, and then you won't see it anymore. So we don't want that, of course. I'm going to take the very same ink that I've been using, and I'm inking it up with the little half flower design. So what's beautiful about this is you can see right through those clear stamps, and you can line it right up. And then this just adds a little bit of detail. It's not too dark I'll show you one I did in black, just so you can get an idea. It's not too dark, but it just adds a nice little detail touch on top. Then the last thing I'm going to do is embellish it slightly. We have these really fun, gorgeous embellishments called clear faceted gems. They also come in gold. They're kind of a bronzy gold, just to be fair. And I think I'm going to take one of the largest ones and just place it in the center like so to embellish it. I think that's cute. And then I've got a little layer of cardstock to mat this on with my Fast Fuse. Now I want to talk about Fast Fuse for a second. I have a customer who just emailed me this morning saying she was struggling with Fast Fuse. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to use it. But I want to show you one other thing. So here's another card that I did or started. In this one, it's basically exactly the same, only I stamped the flower in black over the top of my yellow, just like this one, but in black. And then I added a circle punch to the center. And then this is a portion of one of those leaf stickers that I showed you right at the beginning. Let me grab the sheet again so you can see. I ripped off the bottom half, so it's basically that much of the leaf sticker rather than the whole thing, just because otherwise it was so big. But here's another version basically of the same card. Okay, now to finish this card off, because let me finish it off. I know I kind of have been jumping around back and forth a little bit. I apologize for that. So I'm going to take some dimensionals, put them on the back of my card, and then just stick them onto a Very Vanilla card base. Now I really kind of toiled between Very Vanilla and Whisper White because watercolor paper is not really white and it's not really vanilla. So I went with vanilla because I thought it looked pretty good, but I don't know. Okay. So here is my finished card. Isn't that cute? And like I showed you earlier, I've done them now in 3 colors, and I think they're so fun. You can do a whole bunch of colors. Now I have 2 sheets of these masks that I can use. So I've used one on here. Now I wouldn't want to come back and make a yellow one after getting all this darker ink. So then I would just remask one of the other pieces on here so that I could use it for a lighter color, and I'd probably leave it dedicated to that lighter color. So this I think will work for you for a long time. Okay, so let's talk about Fast Fuse for just a second. So Elizabeth, this is just for you, my dear. So Elizabeth has been struggling with Fast Fuse, and Fast Fuse is just it's a little persnickety, I will admit, but I love how wonderfully it works. So whenever I'm using Fast Fuse, and I just have a scrap of cardstock here, if you've used other types of runners or adhesive, tools before, it's really different. So for instance, we also have snail adhesive. Now snail adhesive, you just run and let go and the adhesive is on there, okay? With Fast Fuse, you want to use a light touch. You don't want to be, I don't push hard. I push pretty soft. And then when I let go, I'm just going to break it off with, I like to think of it as like a check mark. Okay. Now, if you're pushing hard and breaking it off, you're gonna kind of crumble up the little tape on here. So you want to use a really light pressure. Like, let me give you an idea. I'm using just a couple of fingers and a check mark. It's really light. I'm not pressing hard. One thing I've watched other people use, I have a customer who used the Creative Memories tape runner, and she would just go vroom, 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 vroom. And that's not how it works. You really have to press and release. Press and release lightly. So that's my biggest tip for you. It's all about the pressure you're using and then the check mark at the end to release it from the tape. Otherwise, what happens, let's see if I can get it to work. You get, there we go, this string of adhesive, which you don't want. But if you do get it, just put it down and check it off, and then that gets rid of it, okay? So you don't want that because that will put adhesive in places you don't want it to be. So I hope that's been helpful. Some tips for you, Elizabeth. If that still doesn't cut it, you let me know and I'll see what else I can do for you. I'm sorry you're having trouble, but the one nice thing is you can always come to me for help, and I will help solve all your problems and make them go away. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed these fun projects. And I also, well, actually, let me show you. I did another one. I didn't like this one quite as much, but I think it's kind of cute. I'll put it in my blog post so that you can see. I really have enjoyed playing. Oh, there's one more too. Sorry. I also made this card. All very similar. Now these are just the die cut pieces that were in the kit. There's no stamping except for the line image on top of the blue die cut. That's the only stamping. Oh, and I guess I stamped this this image right here on top of this leaf die cut, but that's the only stamping. So it's really cute and easy. If you have any questions, of course, let me know in the comments of this video or head over to my blog. The description is in the or the link to my blog post is in the description of this video, so just click on that. Don't forget to subscribe to my blog in that little box right there. And if you want to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, if you do it by the 10th of September of 2017, there's an awesome deal where new subscribers get half off of their first month, so you can check this out for a great deal. And I've seen next month's kit. It is a fall theme, and it looks amazing. Actually, I shouldn't say I've seen this month's kit. I've seen a little teeny sliver of this month's kit, and it's a fall theme, and it looks awesome. I can't wait to get it because I love fall cards with fall leaves. Oh, I'm so excited. Anyway, like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for stamping with me today, guys. I will see you soon. Bye.